Mods for Incredibox have already created a lot of alternate plots, but many of them don't differ much from the original. Some mods may look darker or contain hidden passphrases, but have you ever thought about a version where everything is completely reversed? Where events take a completely different direction? And yes, such a mod does exist. Now we will analyze in detail all its features and differences from the usual story. Here it is, our new, unusual world of Sprunka. At first glance, it seems that everything is the same as before. However, if you look closely at the icons, you will notice that they already indicate new or changed characters. It is interesting that they are not arranged in the order we are used to. It's almost as if they're telling us that something different is here. Let's take a look at the first of these new characters and see what he is all about. So, we have a red character in front of us who has now turned into a dragon. He's kept his usual beat, but now with horns, big ears and wings, enjoying life to the fullest. However, his character is still the same. Canon-wise, he remains overly serious and a bit nerdy. As for the changed Oren, the picture is a bit different. He became more friendly and smiling. Externally, there are not so many changes except that his antennae have been replaced by ears, or perhaps horns. It's not quite clear yet. In any case, the characters here have undergone some interesting changes, and we'll continue to look at their features. Here he is, a character resembling Harold or Harold combined with Kluker. While he hasn't been given a specific name, we should probably focus on his appearance to draw conclusions. Let's call him Gold, for example, and if he's really gold, we can keep Harold out of habit. As for Mr. Jolly Computer, he has now decided to take up beats. Look how cool his reading is, it's real music to the ears. And here's our dear and mysterious non-binary character. Who are you really? As I see it, it's Lime, the same one who's always been a bit crazy. But now he doesn't seem so crazy, and by the way, not everyone recognizes him. Lime seems to have become Venus and now makes sounds like her. An interesting and unexpected transformation. It's really hard to determine the gender of the Sprunka here, but I'm willing to bet that in this universe, Lime is probably still a boy after all. Yes, with flowers on his head, but still a plant inside, just like Veneria in the original. And that element will eventually manifest itself, so be prepared. And here is our protagonist. The culprit behind this unusual coup, Wenda. Look at her ear jewelry, how beautiful it is. This image really suits her. A mysterious and charming woman. Mary Wenda was beautiful in her own way, but here, she looks much more mysterious and sophisticated. As we can hear, she's here replacing Gray or even copying him, because the sounds she makes are exactly the same, and she certainly doesn't seem to be playing the role of a killer here, as it might seem at first glance. There's the yellow one, which now replicates the brown one. Look at his bangs and the horn he's grown, it's even more pronounced. In this universe, yellow clearly looks like the dumbest of them all. It became clear to me that this was an ironic change, because in the original, it was the yellow one who bit off a body part from the brown one. Here, on the contrary, it's as if they've switched roles, and that point has yet to be revealed. And here is Kluker, and I think he makes quite different sounds here. Now we can definitely say that this is a robot, not a costume. Though who knows? Everything can be, because his look reminds a bit of Bender from Futurama. And our favorite Veneria seems to be a bit too much with coffee, because inside it grows not some abstract plant, but coffee or chicory. And you can see it right away. Next we have Pinky, who replaces Sky here. It's not quite clear if it's a boy or a girl, but I'm leaning towards it being a girl. She's clearly got bows in her look. Although we all know a guy who liked pigtails and ponytails, in this case I think it's a different story, because the bows here clearly emphasize femininity. The next character is Luna, although she's more like Jupiter. Let's assume that this is Luna flying to her cousin's house to replace him, because he's sick or for some other reason can't show up in this fashion. And here is Durple, who has been replaced by Tana. This change looks quite interesting, and the character looks quite harmonious in the new look. And here is a new character. A mushroom? Yes, a fly agaric. This is a very original solution. Brown has also changed a bit. Now he looks more like the yellow one from the original, and I'm ready to take that back. Because he's not particularly smart here either, although he has a loyal partner. Which one is dumb, and which one is even dumber is hard to say. But overall, I'm happy for both of them. Now we meet Tanner, who in this world has become Durple. Funbot, on the other hand, replaces Mr. Fun Computer and continues to speak his phrases. Here comes Gray, who now copies Venda's behavior. It's both cute and a little creepy at the same time. Gray, please stop. And by the way, he's one of the few characters who hasn't changed significantly. Sky is still the same. Except now he's singing Pinky's song. Now that's really scary. You don't want to wear it, do you? But what can we do? We'll take our chances. Oh, have you become kind, Black Darling? But wait, you're so gloomy now. Well, let's do this. Since in the original Black Man couldn't sing in the choir, let's give him a little present. Let him finally sing with the rest of the characters in a normal, calm environment. After all, you don't always have to blacken, destroy and ruin everything. These characters are your friends, so why not fulfill his dream? Let him get what he deserves, at least in this universe. It's like a chance at a new life, isn't it? Now let's turn our attention to the hood. Oh my god, what happened to the blue Jevin? And by the way, the icon has a reference to that very same announcement on the dark tree. It's pretty weird how the tree is connected to Jevin, but it looks like Black Jevin and this tree that became part of the Nightmare version of him were mixed together here. By the way, the Nightmare versions in this mod are almost identical to their original versions, but as you've already realized, they've switched roles. The jolly computer even got a hat. Despite all the creepy atmosphere, he's still a fashionista. First the cap, now the hat. And here's Wenda. She comes on stage and now she looks terrified. Oh my god, those noises. Jeez, honey, you're going to scare me. Hang in there, please. This will all be over soon. But even in her fear, you can see something touching because it's another moment where the characters, despite all the horrible changes, retain their uniqueness. The yellow one did have his brain beaten off by the brown one. But, as it turns out, it didn't hit the brain itself, and so yellow survived, even in this universe. Oh my god, Kluker. He doesn't look like Bender here anymore, but more like an evil robot bunny. Veneria, you're done. Go back to sleep. Now let's take a look at Pinky. Oh, I think I got something in my eye. I think what they did to Pinky is even worse. They literally stabbed her in everything they can, and even her eye is twitching. It's horrible. Now what about Luna? One got something in her eye, and you got something in your mouth. Luna now with a gorgeous smile, and with her eyes in her mouth, looking a little stir-crazy. Those eyes in this fashion are a nightmare. Tanner, honey, how are you? You okay? What about Mushroom? Same as usual. But what about the brown one? Oh my god, how did you get your mouth out of your head? How do you even eat? Well, now I can see why you didn't finish it. You just have your mouth in the wrong place. Durple is killed here, just like Tunner was in the original. Shot. Horns broken. It's sad. And logical. And here's Funbot, now telling us to get the hell out of here. We've heard it many times before, but here it looks like he's been mangled. His screen is smashed and his jaw is ripped off. I really feel sorry for him. You've done all this, you grey mouse. I know you're a cat, but in this situation, you're a rat. You're having fun, aren't you? Imagine this situation. What would happen if Mad Grey met Wenda from the original? I think they would have a lot in common. That could be interesting. Wow, Sky's face got ripped off. If such horrors are done to the others, I shudder to imagine what happened to Black, but surprisingly nothing happened to him. It's like the original Jevin, nothing happened to him either. But Black, unlike Jevin, is clearly in shock. He's worried about his friends, about everything that's happened. And while there's not much of a plot here, I'll still try to imagine what could have been. We have a killer like Grey, there is a monster in the form of Brown, and there is Jevin, who is probably running this whole crazy universe. Interestingly, the roles of killers and villains are kind of reversed here, and now it's no longer Grey who has to hide, but Wenda. Why Black stayed alive is unknown, but he obviously saw all these horrors and can't stay indifferent. Well, what do you think of such a mod with an alternative history? Share your opinion in the comments, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell not to miss new videos.